Hey, Shabbat Shalom, family. We are looking at chapter 12 of Romans. This is going to be real quick. I've got just a thought that I want to share with you guys for the discussion. We know that this is a very well known chapter, but I want to challenge you to look at this chapter in a different way through the lens of the two greatest commandments that the scriptures give us: loving the Lord our God with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength, and loving our neighbor as ourselves. So if we look at it through that perspective, we see all of these examples in this passage of loving Yahweh, presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice, a holy sacrifice, being acceptable to God, being not being conformed to this world, but being transformed by the renewing of your mind, proving the will of God, doing what is good and acceptable and perfect in His will, to love without hypocrisy, to abhor what is evil, to cling to what is good, to serve the Lord, to rejoice in hope, to persevere in tribulation, to be devoted to prayer, to not to not be overcome by evil, and to overcome evil with good. All of these are in these passages, very famous passage of scripture, but we actually are seeing him talk about how we can love Yahweh through these different verses that he's giving us. And then we get a whole other set of verses in this same chapter of how we can love our neighbor. It starts with us not thinking more highly of ourselves than we should. He talks about how there are many members in one body, and the body, those members don't have the same function. So it's talking to us about how we can communicate with and work with and walk with one another as one body. He gives us a group of spiritual gifts that are for the purpose of serving our brothers and our sisters. So this is how you love your neighbor. When you are prophesying, is it exhorting your neighbor? Is it encouraging your neighbor? Is it loving your neighbor? Being devoted to one another, giving preference to one another, contributing to the needs of the saints, practicing hospitality, blessing those who persecute you, rejoicing with those who rejoice, weeping with those who weep. And it even says at the very end, associating with the lowly. That's why I keep all of you guys as friends, so that y'all can fulfill this scripture and associate with me, a lowly person. So, no, but in all seriousness, we don't look down on the people that are not walking at the same level that we are, but we associate with those people, and we associate with our neighbors in a way to uplift them and love them and show them the love of the Father. So in all these ways, chapter 12 is really about fulfilling the two greatest commandments. And how would we put these verses into our relationship with Yahweh and into our relationships with our neighbors? Um, I wrote this last part. Understanding scripture is important, but application of scripture, us walking out scripture, should be our greatest goal. Remember what it says in James chapter 1: prove yourselves doers of the word and not merely hearers who delude themselves, but one who looks intently at the perfect law and the law of liberty and abides in it, not having become a forgetful hearer, but an effectual doer. This man will be blessed in whatever he does. So this is just a different context, maybe a different lens to view chapter 12. I want to encourage you guys, as you read it, see the different pieces and think about how we can walk this out, and not just read about it and understand it and study it, but really walk out chapter 12 in the context of loving the Father and loving our neighbors as ourselves. God bless you guys. Shabbat Shalom, and we'll see you next time.